Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. So we have been hearing all of this stuff about, shipping and demand is up and there are shortages of products. So let's address some of this. All right. One thing that's being told to us is uh, that the cost of shipping is going up, and it's making it all sound like the you know the ship operators are the cause of all of this, and this is absolutely not true. Okay, right now there are 160 container ships sitting off the west coast that are waiting to be offloaded. And so those ships are doing, what they're supposed to do. The problem comes when they get to the port. So those ships, while they're sitting offshore, they still have to pay their crew members. They have to pay for fuel to keep, all of the environmental controls for the crew, and in some cases, to maintain refrigeration. So they're having to pay for this. They're having to pay for crew salaries, fuel, food, etc. So it is costing them more money. Yes, they're going to charge more. That is understandable. That doesn't mean that they're ripping anyone off. If they are charging more, well, guess what? That's capitalism. That's capitalism. Demand, supply and demand. Well, they've got the supply. They're going to charge you for your demand. But the big problem causing the demand is when you get to the port and there are hundreds of thousands of containers sitting at port, and there's no room to put more containers. So where is the problem at the port? The ports they blame the government. Well, the government builds the ports, but they don't operate the ports. They build the ports and then they lease out space at the ports to corporate-owned shipping companies. What's the problem there? Well, here is a big part of that problem right here. All right, this that you are looking at is a shipping container chassis. The shipping containers do not have wheels. They have to be loaded onto this chassis to be moved from the port to their destination. Now, once they take it to the destination, there are only two options for the trucker. You either drop the container with the chassis off and leave it to go pick up another load, or the driver sits there and waits for the container to be offloaded, which can take anywhere from 8 hours to 2 days. And during the time that truck sitting there, the trucker is not being paid. They get paid to drive. They're a driver. They get paid to drive. When they are waiting, they do not get paid. The fact is that a lot of truckers have seen their income decrease in the past few months during this issue going on. So who owns the chassis? Well, in most countries outside of the United States, the truck driver or trucking company either owns the chassis or they lease them long term. Here in the United States, not many truckers own their own chassis because a truck may go pick up a container at the port for one trip, but then they might be contracted to go pick up a trailer at another location. What are they going to do with that chassis? So in the United States, the shipping companies at the ports own most of the chassis. And a shortage of chassis is a chronic problem in the United States that gets worse during times of high volume, such as we have been seeing. So what happens when a driver goes and picks up a container with a chassis, takes it to the destination, and leaves it there? Well, the company continues to charge rent on that chassis for the length of time that that chassis is sitting there at the destination warehouse or store or wherever it went. So they get to pay, instead of getting rent for the chassis for 1 day, they get paid for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days for the same chassis until that chassis gets returned, and then it's turned around and it's rented out again. So if you've got 10,000 containers and you've got 100 chassis to rent out, what is the logical conclusion that is going to happen with your 14,000, you got 15,000 containers and 100 chassis? What's the logical conclusion to your 14,900 containers that are sitting there? They're going to sit there. The shipping companies in the United States that lease the space at the ports don't want to spend more money on more chassis because the level of shipping volume does not remain this high. So it would cost them more money to buy the chassis, and they would get less money renting out one individual chassis for 1 day instead of renting it out for 3 days, 4 days, whatever it takes. If you look at an image or a video of the trucks at the ports, what you see is a long line of trucks waiting to pick up, and the road leading out of the port is empty. And a lot of the truckers are complaining because while they are sitting there waiting to pick up, they're not getting paid. They don't start getting paid until that container is loaded and they are on the road, and they only get paid until they reach the destination. They don't get paid by the hour. In most cases, they get paid by the trip. So where they used to be able to do 4 or 5 trips a day, now they're able to do 1. So their pay has decreased by that amount. They've lost, 75 to 80% of their income for a single day because the shipping companies are inefficient. This is all a capitalist problem. You can stop blaming the government If you want the government to come in and fix this problem, you're a socialist, because now you want the government to use public funding to fix the problem that was caused by capitalism. So, we're hearing all this stuff about shortages. Actually, I haven't been doing a lot of shopping, but I haven't been seeing that many shortages, except for food. They say demand is up. I haven't been hearing a lot of people talking about buying a whole lot of stuff, but people are buying a lot of food for long-term storage because they're afraid of what is going to happen with the food chain. They're not worried about buying, lots of clothes or stuff like that. So I don't see where all this demand is up. Yes, consumer spending is up because inflation is driving the price of each item you buy up. And where's that money going to? It's going to the same people that are creating the shortages. Why don't we have enough enough container chassis? In the past 2 or 3 decades, the income for truckers has gone down considerably. So yes, we have fewer truckers. Now some large retailers like Walmart, Target, whoever, they may own their own chassis, but they still generally, a lot of the time, contract with individual truckers. So the trucker has to go pick up the chassis from one place, go to another place, no matter what. Even if they get the chassis at the port, they have to get there, get to the port, go to one place and pick up the chassis, and then go to another place to get the container loaded onto the chassis, and then that's before they ever get onto the road. So even unless they are, the trucker is working directly for this company and does nothing but pick up containers and deliver them every day, then what is the end result? You're still going to wind up with the same problem. So this is a problem. You got 160 ships with tens of thousands of containers on each ship. You've got hundreds of thousands of containers sitting at the port, and meanwhile, the retailers, Wall Street, the corporate media are telling you that there are shortages. There's no shortages. In most cases, there's no shortage. It's just that they are charging you for something that is sitting at port. And then you're going to wait longer, in some cases, for that item to arrive. I haven't had a problem if I go to order something or I go to buy something. I haven't had a problem finding what I'm looking for. I've had to wait longer at times for it to be delivered. I have to wait an extra day or two or whatever. But that's it. There's no shortage of the item that I'm looking for. How about you? Are you not? Tell me in the comments. Are you having a problem finding items that you are trying to buy outside of the grocery store? All right. Anyway, so they're going to keep on charging you, and they're going to keep on telling you, Oh, well, it's because of these, ship owners from other countries. No, the problem is not China. The problem is not the ships and the people that own the shipping companies. The problem starts at the port. The supply chain problem in America is a purely American capitalist crisis. It is a problem that has been caused by capitalism. And I've said it many, many times. Capitalism cannot solve any problem that has been created and exists only because of capitalism. That's all there is to it. They have no intention of solving this problem as long as they are profiting from that problem. If they can charge you twice as much for the same item when they tell you that there is a shortage of that item, even though there is no shortage, then that is a problem caused intentionally by capitalism, and that you pay for. All right? Share this video. Talk about these subjects. If you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel so that I can keep raising awareness on these issues. And I will catch you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.